The basic fundamentals we have understood is to create any geometry, the first thing we need to do is we need to create a base coordinate system. So in here, in a base coordinate system, you can see it says base coordinate system, that is the name of it, and under that it says coordinate system. So base coordinate system is the name of this node. The name of the base coordinate system, we cannot change it. This is restricted because it has been said that it is the base of the file on which we are doing all the work. So in the base coordinate system, and it is a node type of coordinate system, and in there we can see an arrow that says at DGN model origin. That means it has created the coordinate into the origin of the design model. So, and in the input we can see that the design model name. If we click on the drop down, we can see there are other options that have popped up over to here too. What are these options? We would understand. So now let's say I want to create a new coordinate. How can I do that? I can click on this geometry node. So there is this coordinate system. So I can just click on it. It will create the node for me. And also I can just click on it and I can drag and drop the same item over to here. Now in here, you can see that all of them got created over to the same place, because the reason behind the coordinate system all got placed in the same place is you can see that the coordinate system, it has automatically got connected with the base CS. That means the base CS is the base of this file and also all the operations that we will be doing. So in the one item that we can see that the drop down names are different. This base coordinate systems CSS drop down says at DGN model origin, and this coordinate systems once item says as by Cartesian coordinate. That means when it is says by Cartesian coordinate, that means it will create using the Cartesian coordinate system that we have. So it takes up a value of X transaction. That means the X value where I want to have my coordinate system with respect to the base coordinate system, same as Y and Z. So now what I will do is I will just click on the X transaction and I will try to give a length over to here. Let's say I'll give a 5,000, that means 5 meters. So once I have given X as a 5,000, you can easily say that the coordinate has came to the 5,000 location. So if you look into this, you can say that with the X transaction, it has moved from the base coordinate system at 5,000 millimeters or 5 meters from there, and it has placed it identity over in here. So the changes that we have done, these called input port. That means where we are inputting values. And also whenever we are seeing these items, that means these items are mandatory. These inputs we must need to give. There are also other inputs that are also present over here. How can we access them? Is by clicking on this. So in this little drop down, it says which input ports are shown on the node. I can click on this input port and it says technique inputs. That means what is the technique input that I want? You can see that these are green and kind of pinned. That means I can unpin them, but whenever I'll be creating a new coordinate system, it will come up again. So when it is coming as a pin, that means these are necessary input. The origin, you can see that it is not pinned. That means it is not necessary to create the geometry, same as the catalog items and part. So this is technique inputs. If I minimize this, there is this option that is called general inputs, the color and fill and all this items. We would see and we would use these items like in future. Now, if I close this one, so when I'm creating node and a geometry with itself, so we have seen these are input items. What about outputs? We also have outputs with the same thing. How can we access the outputs? So we can just click on the drop down. So once we click on the drop down, you can see that it says common outputs, and there are lots of values that are present over in here. You can see that there is this X that has got into this place. So that means the X I have given the 5,000 value, it is coming as an output again too. There is no value of Y and Z as I have not given any inputs over to this place. Now the same thing is for Y transaction and the Z transaction. If we give values to it, it will change its location. So for the Y transaction, let's say I'll give 2,000. So that means what it is doing, it is going 5,000 to the X direction, and from there it is going to the 2,000. If we do tentative snap means right click and left click at the same time. If we do tentative snap, you can see the location is 5,000, 2,000 and 0,0. That means the point is at 5,000 at X direction and 2,000 at Z direction. The same thing If I give any Z value, it will go up in the top direction. So now once I have placed this geometry, we have noticed that the base CS name was not editable. But if we click on the coordinate system one, this name is editable. So in here, we can give our any of the coordinate, any of the name that we want. So let's say I'll give first CS. I can just give the name first CS. That means this is my first coordinate system. I'm given the name. So there are a few limitations of the same. Is we cannot start with any numeric value. If I click on 8 and if I click enter, you see the file name 8 won't be taking. This is more like a concept for C#, where it doesn't take any numeric value in the front. Also, it doesn't take any special characters. Let's say I give @, it won't take that one. The special character that it will take is underbars. So if I can give underbar over to there, it will take the value. But it is acting as the same thing. I can give the underbar, but there are not any of the other ones doesn't work. So it says it is reserved word scripting language. The base of the generative components is C# scripting language. So whatever the general fundamentals we see in C#, the same thing has been cascaded over to the generative components. So now we have understood about this one, and we have created my first coordinate system. We can go back to the transactions, and auto recording is turned on. So you can see add first coordinate system, and all the changes have been recorded. Again, I can just click on to the items. I can just control and click every one of them, and I can just do rebuild, and it will come up to one item. So my first coordinate system is over in here.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you want to see more such series, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you, and see you next time.